Doghouse Podcast is back. We got Eric Taylor from the Bulldog Report. Great return guest. How are we doing today, Eric?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. And it's 27 days till start of college football, at least for Georgia, when they kick off against Marshall. Got a little fall air this week because it's been blazing everywhere hot the last couple of weeks. So I'm glad we're getting a little breather on that. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, share the Doghouse Podcast. We're really growing here. Really appreciate it. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. That'd be great. Eric, first question is, I know we got fall camp, summer camp that just started. Wanted to ask you your thoughts if Gunnar Stockton can lead Georgia to at least the playoffs and potentially a national title, or is Ryan Puglisi going to get a look, and does he have a short leash?
I believe Gunnar has every ounce of ability to get us to where we need to go. I think one thing that's being slept on about him is his leadership ability. All you need to do is go look at the SEC championship game when he got put in and when he lowered his shoulder into the defender and the entire sideline exploded. The entire team's behind him. He was a highly rated kid coming out of high school, and a lot of people forget about that. He owns a number of records for passers in high school for Georgia, the state of Georgia. So, I believe he has everything needed to get us to where we want to go.
Yeah, completely agree. I know his way is turning. He knows the system. This is a Mike Bobo recruited him and had him briefly committed at South Carolina and then brought him over to Georgia. So I think there's a lot of positivity. I think that's key what you thought. The locker room has his back. And that's what Carson Beck lost last year and everything he was going through. So, yeah, I completely agree. It does scare me a little bit, to be honest, because he does run hard, and that could be, concussion away, rolled ankle, any type. But I believe Ryan Puglisi has the tools. He's a little – he's still trying to, learn the offense. Maybe a little raw, as they say, but we do have that. But definitely Gunnar Stockton, I believe we have the people around him, especially with the new wide receivers that we have and the running game and all the different ones. And I've been hearing really positive things out of camp from Kirby, which, he doesn't give out compliments at all. So could be under the radar, sneaky good this year. So we'll see. Next question. Yeah, go ahead.
One thing I wanted to touch on, speaking of Kirby and how he feels about Gunnar, him taking him to SEC Media Days is huge. Right? That right there tells you how much trust he has in Gunnar.
That was positive because he doesn't take quarterback each time. I think I'm not even sure if he took. I think he took Carson Beck last year. It could be wrong, and I remember he took Fromm. But yeah, he doesn't take him every year, so that definitely shows there's a lot of confidence in him. Next question is, what position battles are you excited to see or hear about in summer camp?
Definitely defensive line. We talk a lot about how Georgia's run game fell off last year compared to what the standard is at Georgia, but the run defense also fell off last year compared to where it's been 2-3 years ago. But of course, then after the defensive line is also the offensive line. Georgia has got to get better at the line of scrimmage over what it was last year if it wants to do what it needs to do to get back to where it wants to be, which is the standard of where Georgia was in 21 and 22.
Yeah, completely agree. It's I don't think we'll ever have that 21-22 with Jordan Davis and the other can't think of his name. I should know him. He's with the Eagles now. Jalen Carter, yes. You're not ever going to have that again. But this Elijah Griffin kid, what did Pollock say? He runs 20 miles an hour on the GPS. He's a beast. Also, Christian Miller is going to have a lot of experience coming back. So we got a lot of guys, maybe unproven guys. Yeah, I'm kind of excited if we can come in and have havoc rate, and also if we can stop the rush better, because I know that was a struggle last year. So that is one that I'm excited about. Another one I'm excited about is the running back room, and I did want to ask you, Nate Frazier, of course, is going to be the number one guy, but who do you think is going to be the number two guy, change of pace type back for Georgia?
Going through the offseason, I would have automatically said Josh McCray, the transfer from Illinois. But I actually think after seeing some workout videos from Roderick Robinson, I think he's ready to go right back up to that number 2 guy.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I perked up last week when I said he's big again. He's huge. I just hope he can stay healthy because he's just been so injury prone. I think it was a toe issue and only played one game last year. And I think he had a ankle injury in the spring game. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm excited about that too. Also, you're gonna have Cash Jones, which is a good third down back out of the backfield. Always a good change of pace. Dwight Phillips, I think, is more of a gadget guy. He's really, really fast. And Bo Walker turns some heads. But yeah, Josh McCray, I think everybody was looking for him in the first game or first practice. I think he maybe had an illness, but hopefully he'll be. I mean, yeah, I'm excited about him. He'll be kind of maybe like a big bell cow back, change of pace from Nate Frazier.
The thing that really excites me about the run game this year as opposed to last year is how deep we are in the running back room. It felt like we only had like 2 running backs that were healthy last year, and one was a freshman. Nate Frazier was a true freshman. Then
That's
you
right.
had Trevor Etienne, and I think Chauncey Bowens got some carries last year, but not too many. But
Right.
like this year, we have 4 or 5 guys that can carry the ball, and then you got Cash Jones and Dwight Phillips who can catch the ball a little bit better than the others. Get them out in space. So like, I feel a lot better about the running back depth this year than last year.
Yeah, completely agree. Like when I started looking at the depth charts recently, it made me feel a little bit better. But I completely agree. There's a lot of like guys, a lot of quantity. We just got to see if we can get a lot of quality. And you can't run Nate Frazier in the SEC 20, 25 times. Gotta get some reps. And I think that Josh McCray was a big pickup. And maybe if he can get 18 carries, goal line stands, I'm excited about it. But
I think him. I think him and Bo could really together be and Roderick. I think I keep forgetting about him because he was hurt last year. Mm-hmm. Those are guys that can wear down defenses for us and let those speed guys kind of really take advantage of them being able to beat up on defenders.
Yeah. I think Roderick's one of those maybe third, fourth quarter if the O-lines pushes some guys around, you can just bring the hammer in and lean on them. And gas them out. I'm definitely with you on that one. Before we jump to the next question, I want to give a shout out to our great sponsor, VivaTequilaSeltzer.com. 0 carbs, 0 sugar. Great for on the golf course. Definitely with the hot streak that we had. Also, tailgate coming up will be great for you. It was great at the pool. My personal favorite is watermelon. But check them out for 20% off. Doghouse 20% off. VivaTequilaSeltzer.com. Check them out on Instagram. And I believe they are the Boston Brewers beverage or #1 seltzer sponsor. So check them out. And they're over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I was impressed when I looked at that earlier. So check them out. VivaTequilaSeltzer.com. Great sponsor of the podcast. Yeah, next question I wanted to ask is Georgia just surpassed with Anthony, forget his name, the defensive lineman who he beat out over Georgia Tech. But anyway, we're #1 in the 2026 recruiting class, past USC, which is very impressive. But what's your thoughts on the recruiting class for 2026? I know we've struggled with Miami and some other Texas Texas who's been kind of out paying for players. But what's your thoughts on the 2026 class?
It's really impressive, especially since, there was a lot of reports out that supposedly Kirby Smart couldn't recruit in the NIL era. And then he responds to that by having the #1 class. I mean, yeah, it's not all signed yet, but I don't see how we fall outside the top 3. I still have faith that we're going to be #1. But, you never know with the way things are. The way college football is now, you never know until you know.
Yeah.
But it is very interesting to see that Kirby's got the #1 class when he was basically put out to pasture because NIL is a thing now. The one thing that really impresses me is the guys we've gotten at the line of scrimmage. You just alluded to getting AJ Lonan. I think that's how you say his last name is Lonan.
Yeah, Anthony London Jr. That's right. Clark Central.
His motor reminds me a lot of David Pollock. Now, I'm not sitting here going to say he is David Pollock, but like he just gets after it and does not stop until the whistle blows, and you gotta love that.
Yep, completely agree. They've loaded up on the defensive side of the ball. I believe it might be 7 linemen. Trey Scott, always a great recruiter doing work. Got us a big-time quarterback with Jared Curtis. I guess if I had to get a little nitpicky, I hope that we add another running back. I know Derek Cooper ended up going to Texas. I'm sure that was an NIL package. He only visited once from what I heard. So if they can get another guy in this class, I'll be happy because if you look at it, last 2 recruiting classes, you got one for this class, 4-star, and then you only had Bo Walker, who was a 3-star. So probably need one more just for depth, in my opinion.
Absolutely agree. I think another, off the top of my head, I can't think. I could have sworn we have a good wide receiver class with this one, but like their names are eluding me right now.
Yeah, I think one of the highest. Let me look here. Highest. I know Craig Dandridge is a 4-star. He was pretty high. He's top 100 player. Another one is Tyreek Green. I believe he can be a running back and a wideout. Also another
Ryan Mosley.
Yeah, Ryan Mosley. He's on there.
Yeah. He's a 6'4" wide receiver from out in my area. I'm hoping to actually go see him play sometime this year.
Right.
And then, of course, you got the 5-star tight end, Caden Prothero. Of course, Todd Huntley always gets his guy.
Guy's loaded, man.
Absolutely. Like you could just pick a position. Linebacker, I think, like you lose Tyler Atkinson, and then you pick up Abrams, and again, the name eludes me. There was Abrams. Who else did we pick up? We picked him up like that. Tootle, Shadarius Tootle.
Yeah,
we flipped him from Auburn.
4-star.
I mean, yeah, like you said, top to bottom, like pick a position. Every position is very strong. So
it's a big class too, man. 31's a lot.
Which surprised me because I didn't think we were going to go after over 30. I was telling people that we weren't going to, reach USC not because of the quality, but I didn't think our quantity would be there. And we still got guys that can commit. I don't think Kirby's done.
Yeah, especially this much hay in the barn. And also, you could always flip. There's no telling. One of these teams struggle, 8-4 out of the blue. Hugh Freeze, man, might as well just start poaching from all those Auburn recruits. Something like that,
That whole story was crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of that, give a little shout out to the Bulldog report here. About to pull up some stats since we were just talking about him. SEC positional blue chip ratio. I believe you sent this over to me a while back. Very interesting. Of course, George is pretty loaded here. Anything you'd like to share on this graphic?
I knew that we recruit linebacker well. I had no idea that we were 100%. Like every player on the roster at linebacker is either a 4- or 5-star player. Like that blew me away. I guess it shouldn't have, but it did. The opposite tackle position makes me feel better seeing that this year, because last year a big problem with our offensive line was we were playing guys out of position at the tackle position because of the lack of guys available to actually play that position. So to see that we actually have offensive tackles that are over 80%, 4- and 5-star guys now makes me feel a lot better about that room.
Completely agree. And our tight ends. Another one is on the blue chip ratio. I believe Georgia has more percentage of 4- and 5-stars than Texas. And, everybody's all over Texas this year. So that'll be kind of interesting. Sure, it's a lot of the hype over Arch, but that'll be interesting when they match up. And then Georgia, beat them obviously last year. I don't know if you heard this stat either. Georgia beat Texas twice last year and did not throw a passing touchdown. I don't know if you knew that. I heard that the other day. I was like, wow.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So maybe Gunner can throw a couple this year, get maybe 2 touchdowns, over 200 yards, run around a little bit. Think we'll be okay. Got him at home.
Be interesting to hit Noah Thomas on a long touchdown, kind of grind it into him with a former Aggie.
That's right. That'd be really good. Speaking of the wideouts, looking at that, because I know we got a lot of got transfers and everything. Who you think would be the number one guy coming into the season? He'll be the go-to guy. Let's say you're down by 7 in a big game, got to go get one. Who do you think is going to be the guy?
I think it's going to be Kobe Young, because Kobe Young was in the system last year. He's actually ahead of the rest of the guys that have transferred in. He had an unfortunate situation come up last year and he couldn't play. But I believe as of November, he's been practicing with the team as of November. He wasn't playing in games, but he was, still getting comfortable in the system with the guys. And so I believe he'll be the guy that's, when everything's on the line, he'll be the guy you look to. But I don't want to undersell guys that were here last year, like London Humphreys either. I saw a picture that John Gruden put up when he was at practice the other day, and London was running with the 1. So, You never know.
Yeah, I saw that. Speaking to John Gruden, I'd take him in a heartbeat if he wanted to come do some analysis. Come on down.
Oh, absolutely.
Coach. I'd take him. Chucky, man. I feel like whatever he did and got fired, he can be short-term memory here. I'd take him.
Absolutely. I've been a fan of him since he was the Raiders head coach. So I'd take him on in a heartbeat if he wanted to come down here.
Yeah, man. Any type of knowledge in the room, man, just always helps. Also, do you think what capacity do you think we're going to see Will Muschamp? I know he says still with the team. Think we just give him more analyst work, or?
I'm going to say that I know he's going to be with the team. I don't know what capacity he's going to be with the team, but I know he's going to be with the team this year.
Yeah. Any added knowledge. I'd rather, of course, have him than not have him. I was a little bummed when they said, hey, he's no longer with the team. But then Kirby came back, maybe threw him a little bit of money. He's like, all right, give you whatever salary to come and help us. Because you could kind of tell, even that Tennessee game and even the Notre Dame game when he was down on the sidelines, you could just see tackling was smoother, not miss assignments. So you could tell he had his hands involved, which is great.
Yeah, look at the first couple of weeks of last year. Like the Kentucky game, the Clemson game, and then look at Texas when he was involved with that first Texas game, and our defense was completely night and day when he was involved on game day, not just on practice week.
Yep, completely agree. Will Muschamp, great coordinator. Wouldn't want him as a head coach, but great coordinator, and he's a good recruiter.
That's something that I think some people will look at a failed head coach and forget that they're a great coordinator. Some guys aren't meant to be over the entire team, but they can be over a unit and be elite.
Oh, yeah. Completely agree. One other stat I wanted to share. This is on the Bulldog Report on Twitter, which Eric's ahead of. SEC Football 2025 preseason power rankings. Got Georgia up there, which was it 53-5? I believe that might be under Kirby Smart. But anyway, these numbers are crazy. Interesting that we only have 39, almost 40% returning production. Texas A&M 60%, and there's Vanderbilt down there with 63%. They had a decent. But anyway, all these numbers are really interesting. Anything that stands out for you on this slide graphic?
The funny thing that I see is Texas is down there at number 6, but they're actually top 5 when it comes to their amassment of talent. So I thought that was interesting. I guess what brought them down was again they're around 40% of returning production. That's something a lot of the media especially doesn't want to talk about because, like you alluded to before, all the Arch Manning hype but they lost a ton to the draft this year.
Did they lose four linemen too, I think?
Oh, I don't know the exact numbers, but I know they lost a lot on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 4 starters. Yeah,
and those first numbers were the record over the last 4 years.
right. Yep, that's awesome. Yeah, and Texas A&M only 56%, LSU 66% over the last 4 years. That's interesting.
The weird thing is, I see Texas A&M. I mean, I gotta be clear about that. I see them in the top 5, and I'm like, I'm looking over it, and I'm like, that's got to be their talent, like as much talent as they have. Which, I mean, if I was an Aggie, I'd be frustrated, because it's like, how do you have all this talent and you never do anything with it?
All right. Yep, completely agree. They're that 8-9 win program. That's it. I think there was that stat. They've only had a 10-game. Was it a 10-game winning season since like 2003 or 2, something crazy like that.
Wow. Yeah, that is crazy, especially you signed the number 1 class in 2022, and they haven't even made the playoffs.
And then got your coach fired with that crazy buyout. Jimbo, wherever he's at.
These buyouts are crazy. Like, I don't know how some of these schools do that and then turn around and hire another coach.
Yeah. All right, Eric, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who, if you were at SEC Media Days, or if you had to pick now, who would be your 2 teams going to the Mercedes-Benz in the SEC Championship game? Who would be your 2 teams?
If I had to pick right now, I'd probably pick a repeat of 2024. It'd be Texas and Georgia.
Okay.
Texas, from all the accounts that I've seen, Texas has one of the easiest schedules in the SEC. Again, well, I mean, we all talked about how easy the schedule was for them last year. Well, they play the exact same SEC teams, except for at the alternate location that they played last year. So, I mean, it's no big surprise that they have another easy schedule. And then I take Georgia. I see some people saying Georgia's going to be 9-3. I just don't see it. The way Kirby's demeanor when he's down, when other people are down on him, and I also feel like we're coming into this season with our backs against the wall. Not as far as getting to the playoffs or yada yada, but it's like after last season, everybody's looking at Georgia's program different, and I don't think Kirby's going to take that. I was arguing with a Florida fan earlier today that thinks that they're just going to whip us come October, and that's one game. That is one game I know for certain that Kirby, no matter what our record is, no matter what the situation, he's going to circle that game. If we win one game during the season, it's going to be Florida. So I don't understand why. And it's not just Florida fans. The media, there's I wish I remember the name. There was an article that was written about us missing the playoffs. It was a bold prediction that has us missing the playoffs, and one of the teams we lose to is Florida in that prediction. And I'm just, I can see us possibly losing to Texas, possibly losing to Alabama, because I mean there's history there. When you go outside of those 2 games, I'm like, I could see us struggling with Auburn because it's at Jordan Hare. I still don't see us losing it though.
Yeah, it'll be tough.
And Tennessee's just not Tennessee. I might be wrong there. I just have a feeling that Tennessee's just not going to be Tennessee this year.
They'll give them a game for 3 quarters, but I think we got more guys than them, more talent, and Kirby has figured out the Josh Heupel offense in that one. Back to the Tennessee. You probably tell your buddy this. I just did a podcast, so hopefully it's coming out soon with a Florida guy. The whole season is on DJ Lagway, and is he even going to be healthy? So you can tell your Florida friend there that it's all on him. Good talent, but can you make it 12 games in the SEC? Got a boot on already. I don't want any ill will for the kid or injury, but you might be looking for a different coach when Georgia plays them. They got a tough schedule again. I don't know who their backup is, but hey, it's all about him.
That's what I said to him, and he thought I was trolling. But I said, we don't even know if Lagway and your head coach will be at that game for Florida.
Exactly. So I'm not sure. I'm not surprised they Scott. I think Scott Strickland has something on some of these people because they're. My buddy was like, I want him gone, but hell, he can win 7-8 wins and stay another year. So I don't. Maybe they're happy with 7-8 win program.
I mean, they've been a 6-7 win program for so long. I mean, maybe they're what's it called? Maybe their expectations are changing. I mean, I would. I mean, it's Florida. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. It's always interesting in Jacksonville, but Georgia's had their number. Also, just came out today. Gotta talk about. It's always interesting. Preseason coaches poll according to CBS Sports. Got Texas and Ohio State, and that's going to be a banger, as the kids say. That first game. Georgia number 4, Penn State number 3, which is interesting. They had a good year last year, but I see that as a 10-win program. And also, I got a buddy I work with. He's a big Penn State guy. I said Drew Aller is like a big old bowl of oatmeal. You're not going to get much out from him. So, anything that stands out here on this coaches poll?
Penn State being in the top 3 always stands out to me. They made the playoffs last year and kind of made a run, but hardly anybody talks about the fact that they didn't play a ranked team until November, but yet they were talked about as a top 10 team all year last year. Yeah. Outside of that, Indiana's ranked again, and Indiana played 2 ranked teams last year and lost to both of them, but somehow was a playoff team. And here they are in the top 25 again. That's something I don't understand.
I'll say a surprise at me just looking at it. I'm not sold on Miami with Carson Beck. I know we got a little ill will towards him. Not sold on that defense is bad. They lost a lot. Cam Ward was special. I mean, I see them maybe as 8-4.
Totally agree. I guess I've gotten so used to kind of avoiding that subject because people say I talk about it too much. Okay. But what we learned about Carson Beck last year and going into this year, he'll have less talent around him offensively than he had last year. And somehow he's supposed to take that team further than he was able to take Georgia last year. Mm-hmm. And it's unless people think that he's more talented than Cam Ward, I can't justify that. I mean, also, I don't know how far Cam Ward would take this team with the weapons he has.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And how's Carson Beck going to respond from that injury? Because I heard that wasn't the funnest injury, that UCL sprain or pulled up. He had to have surgery, so he might come out slow.
Yeah, they have no idea what condition his arm's going to be in. So again, they're banking on him, and I mean, all the luck to him. I don't wish any ill will on him. Yeah. But yeah, they kind of bet on a wounded horse, and you have no idea what he's going to have. The other thing on top of that is, it's Cristobal down there, isn't it?
That's right, Mario Cristobal.
Okay. Who's to say that he won't cost the entire team a win because he refuses to kneel the ball down?
That's a good point. He's got to do something with that defense. I think the scary teams to me, just because they're loaded on Annis less, is I think Clemson is going to be legit. You can plug them in the playoffs. They got Cade Klubnik, solid quarterback coming back. Got a lot of guys coming back. They had some real good coaching hires. I'm high on them. I think Oregon, from what I've been hearing, could take a step back. Lost a lot of guys. Don't know who the quarterback's going to be. LSU, you're going to find out right away because they got Clemson. And I think I don't know if it's quite hot seat. Might be a little warm seat for Brian Kelly. He needs to get, SEC championship playoffs at least, 10 wins. Michigan at 14, looking at it, coming off theirs. I know they got a lot of high hopes on this 5-star. Also, I think the coach isn't he suspended for the whatever's going on there for 2 or 3 games. If that's true,
I'm not sure if the official punishment has come down for that yet.
Another sneaky good team if they, because I'm a big fan of Lenora Sellers. I think South Carolina could scare some teams. Don't play Georgia at 13. I don't know what's Illinois doing at 12. I know Illinois beat South Carolina in that bowl game. That's interesting at 12. Florida at 17 and Tennessee at 18 is interesting. Just looking at this, that's getting some love. But
Yeah, I can understand Florida to a degree because when the media loves a quarterback, they put so much importance on that position that I could see. I mean, like you said before, really all the hype behind Florida is DJ Lagway. It's the same way with Texas with Arch, which is weird because when you get to Tennessee, nobody wants to talk about it's their quarterback situation that's probably going to make them to take a step back. And one of the issues with that situation at Tennessee is, again, a lack of weapons.
Yep. And they're going to find out. I think they got a pretty tough schedule. I know that on the road, I'll admit that's going to be a tough one. I do like this 3:30 game, not a night game. Be Gunnar Stockton's first start, so will be a challenge. But I kind of like us maybe flexing a little bit, push them around a little bit. Fourth quarter, we got more guys, but they'll hang around. Be interesting to see. Any idea who their quarterback is? I haven't done much research on them. They mentioned they're still looking.
Joey Aguilar. You're talking about Tennessee?
Yeah, Tennessee.
Yeah, it's the guy from Appalachian State. Joey Aguilar.
Is he like kind of mobile or just pro style?
I'm not really sure about his play style. I know he's turnover prone, and I think they only won like 6 games last year, if I remember correctly.
Might be a reason why he went to App State. That's all I'm saying. Respectful program, but not SEC.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know how people are propping up Tennessee when the most important position is kind of like,
yeah.
I mean, Josh Heupel is Josh Heupel. I'll give him all the credit in the world.
Yeah.
But like, he was great with Hendon Hooker, took a step back with Joe Milton. Seemed like he was starting to get it going with Nico, and then Nico goes out, and it's like, it's starting to look like he's less of a quarterback whisperer, and it was more Hendon Hooker that was a great quarterback than anything else. That
defense carried him last year because if you look at Nico's stats, he was like 10th in the SEC. Was it 20 touchdowns, 7-8 picks? Didn't blow your hair back, real good running back. So
and couldn't hit the deep ball for anything.
I agree. So we'll see. I think they kind of maybe even know mentally maybe 8-4, something like that. We'll see.
I also like getting them in the third week. A lot of people are like, that's early. But again, yes, it's Gunner's first on the road SEC game, but he should have a lot of confidence after playing Marshall and
Austin P.
I never can say that right, so I always forget the name because it's like I don't even want to say it.
Yeah, Austin P. I agree. That I think it's set up really well because you get that Tennessee game, get your feet wet, maybe push you a little bit. You get a bye week, maybe heal up, and then you get Alabama, the big one at home with the crowd. Also, the other big one, and everybody's going to say Georgia 1-6, but finally get Bama at home, first time in the Kirby Smart era, which is important.
That's a bigger storyline that people actually want to talk about because we haven't played them at home since 2015. Kirby has never gotten them at home, ever. Right. And this whole 1-6 thing that they want to talk about, it's like, but we've never played you at home. And they'll say, well, Atlanta, but Atlanta's not Sanford Stadium.
That's right. And we get the nerds in Mercedes-Benz. Hopefully that'll be a good thing because they pushed us last year. Man, that was stressful.
Yeah, I'm a little annoyed by them taking the game moniker away, but everything else, it's like we owe them we owe them a road grading.
Yeah, I agree. We just got to try to figure out how to stop Haynes King. He's been a thorn in the side.
I was going to say this earlier, and it kind of goes along with that, but like I believe if we could just run the ball, like so much of the entire team. The entire team's woes would be fixed a lot if we could just run the ball because you rest your defense, you take time off the clock, you take stress off a gunner because all he has to do is turn around and hand it off. You would have him if we could get it to where Gunner just has to be efficient all year,
Yeah.
this team could go really far.
Oh yeah.
And it was so good to hear that was one of the first statements that Kirby made in his press conference to open up fall camp. Was he was talking about running and stopping the run. I'm like, that's really all we need to get back to.
I agree. Hit the nail on the head. Hey Eric, appreciate you coming on. What is how do we follow you on social media? Got your Bulldog Report, got over 5,000 followers on Twitter. How's that been going for you? And also we got your website here, which I like this. This is pretty cool. BulldogReport.com.
I don't blog as often as I probably should, but Twitter is always fun, especially with the rival fans and stuff. It's a good time. I can't wait for the season to actually start though. So I could focus more time, actually breaking down what Georgia's doing as opposed to just trash talking. I'm actually, you wouldn't think it on Twitter because I get bored so much in the off season, but I really don't like talking season. I'd rather actually have things to talk about rather than be like, we're gonna, I want to say we did.
Okay. I like it. Check out Eric on the Bulldog Report. He's got some great stats and everything right there, growing, getting close to 6,000 followers. Check him out and really appreciate him coming on the podcast. I think he came back in 2023. So, yeah, great to have him on again.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. And if still around, make sure to like, subscribe, share the Doghouse podcast. Got some great content coming up, and we're right around the corner. We're going to have Thundercast. The Marshall guys are going to be coming on week 1 when Georgia plays in the first game, so can't wait. All right, Eric, thanks for coming on again. Give you a go Dogs.
Yes, sir. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. All right, man. Appreciate it.
All righty.
And we'll try to I guess he's out.